Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. So we're here at episode 3, season 8 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now I will say this, I feel like this episode was kind of a snooze fest because for one, topic of conversation was Martell going to jail, Martell, or Melody, turning in whatever to the police for Martell to go to jail. All that really was different in this episode versus the first two was she explained to people exactly what the charges were, exactly what Martell was doing for her to go to the police. So we open up with Melody and Nell playing pickleball, and that's really popular right now. It looks like tennis, but I guess it's like a different ball or a different racket or something. But anyway, I might check that out this summer. So after they play pickleball, they're discussing. She's asking Melody about Martell going to jail, and her stance is she has an issue with sending black men to jail. And I get it, but I feel like no matter what you are, black, white, whatever, you commit a crime, you need to go to jail. Not everybody is innocent based off of history of racism. Okay, so I get it, but I think she understood more because Melody was telling her basically Martell was taking some, homemade love making movies that they did together and was going to put it out there, and she had to put a stop to it by going to the police, which I understand that, you have children, you don't want your children to run up one of their classmates or one of their playmates to run up on it. Kids have access to everything now. It's not like back in the day where you had to watch porn through the little squiggly lines on Spice Network, okay? You can go on your tablet, your phone, look it up. So it's like, I get it. I mean, if I got to put you in jail to keep something like that coming out, then yeah. Plus harassment, all that stuff. And something she mentioned that I don't get, she found out that the woman that he had the baby on her with had possession of the tape or saw the tape. And it's like, why would you show your mistress something that you and your wife did? And a few videos ago, I was like, I don't think Martell's is bad, super bad person, blah, blah, blah. I'm starting to change my mind because it's like, maybe you are just diabolical as hell and don't care. So Nell mentions some of her own tea, basically about, if you watched last season of Love and Marriage Huntsville, we got more into Chris and Nell's business a little bit more. And her and her stepdaughter, they got into it. She got into it with Chris, the stepdaughter, and everything. So she's been on social media saying that Nell was a side chick. Well, Nell was telling Melody that I didn't know he was married at first, but what she didn't tell people was that he was married but separated. Now, everybody differs with that. Some people feel like if you're separated, it's not cheating. Some people feel like as long as those divorce papers are not signed, it is cheating. So I guess that's just a matter of personal whatever. I feel like if you're separated, you're separated. You're not in a relationship. You are married on paper, but I don't see myself pursuing that. It's like, look, go ahead and get that finalized before you come over here, I feel like this season we're going to get a little bit more into Nell and Chris's business, especially since they are, mainstays on the show now. Like, they're in the opening credits now. They're not just friends of the show. So, and I like Nell and Chris. I really do. But let's see what happens with them. So Story meets with her friend. I wrote it down here. Latricia. I thought I wrote this down. Anyway, I think her name is Latricia. So she meets up with her and they're talking about the surrogacy and everything. That scene was that's when the snooze fest kind of started. I think I got to doing something else, so I'm not even gonna lie and make up stuff. I didn't really watch that scene too much. Basically, it looks like they are introducing a new couple on the show. It's either gonna be Sunny and Moses or Latricia and her dude. That's what it's looking like. Because last episode, Sunny was in the confessional, and on this episode, Latricia, I'm sorry, was an episode. So we're gonna move on to where we meet Latricia and her boyfriend. We go into their home, and they're gym rats. He's real bold. They both work out, and I think she said she works out Destiny. So she's in the mix with that within the group, but that she knows both Destiny and Stormy. She's coming in as Stormy's friend, is what it looks like. So we learned a little bit about them. They're both divorced. They both have children, and they're trying to see if they can make this thing work. Now, I will say there's something I observed. I don't know if it's just me, but Latricia, she sounds like she's on the verge of crying all the time. Maybe that's just her voice. I mean, everybody's different, unique, and stuff. It just, when I hear her talk, it sounds like she's about to cry, but it's just something I noticed. I'm not talking bad about her. It's just something I noticed. So, Stormy and Courtney, that's one of my other favorite couples on the show. They go car shopping, looking at vintage cars, looking at that Lincoln Continental. That's like my dream car. Ever since I saw that car in Ludacris's Diamond in the Back video, he took that, he sampled that, old school Diamond in the Back, sunroof top. Ever since I seen it in that video, I've wanted one. I think that looks so nice. 68 Lincoln Continental black, okay? That's, if I ever got a gang of money, I'm adding that to my collection. So they talk about the surrogacy because, her first pregnancy was very dangerous. She almost was out of here. I think she lost a lot of blood. So they made the decision that, okay, if we're going to have another baby, we're going to do it through surrogacy, which is cool because she definitely has the money. She can pay for it. That's a wonderful thing because, there's women out here that can't give birth or can't carry a child due to whatever health issues, but they don't have $50,000, however much it costs for another woman to carry the baby. Adopting is also very expensive, so I'm very happy that, she has the option of being able to have someone else carry the child for her because it's life-threatening for her to do it herself. Now, she mentions that she feels like Courtney is hesitant, and I think I've noticed a lot of men are kind of feel weird about the surrogacy thing because they're like, some other woman's carrying our child. I could see it being weird to him, but he basically was like, look, I'm just waiting on you to set the appointment, woo woo woo. So I definitely wish them the best. I'm just glad that they're able to do it. I'm glad that they have that option. So lastly, we get to Melody, Tisha, and Kimmy having a little sit down at some place where I want to call it a floral shop. It's a bunch of plants everywhere, but you can like design some plant stuff. It looked pretty neat. I'm gonna have to probably go back and see the episode because I used to live in Huntsville, so I'm familiar with the city. Not so much all of the businesses, but all I need to know is where it's at. I'd like to take a trip there, go see it. I do plan on moving back. I love that city. I really do. Has nothing to do with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I've lived there. It's the perfect right amount of city for just the right amount of city for me. Like, it's not too country, but it's not just packed like Nashville is. Nashville is just super overcrowded. So while in the midst of talking about this, doing this floral stuff, Melody mentions that Tisha and Kimmy didn't come to, Carlos King had that little podcast and he didn't come to it. I think Stormy was the only one that came. And Tisha was basically saying like, well, the last time I came to something of yours, I got escorted out. And on the confessional, she was saying, unless I get an invitation, I'm not going. And Melody was kind of like, well, Stormy didn't have an invitation. She still came, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what happened, but I thought Tisha and Melody weren't cool. I understand that the show is, they're castmates on the show, but I feel like Melody is asking too much for Tisha to come, because weren't y'all beefing for the longest? And I think Kimmy's kind of neutral. She keeps a neutral position. She tries to play peacemaker often. She didn't come as well. And she was basically saying the millimeters beat up on them. Not physically, but, you know, and I feel it's like, I don't know if that would be a reason I wouldn't come, because it's not like, I mean, is security there? Like, I don't think anybody's going to jump you, and it's not like Kimmy and Tisha were on the stage getting asked questions, so I didn't know millimeters were that bad. Like, millimeters, if you're watching this, are y'all like the Beehive? Are y'all like Nicki Minaj's folks, the Barbs? Like, are y'all that deep in it? To the point where people don't want to come to stuff because they know y'all are super dedicated to Melody? Like, dang. I was like, dang, Kimmy. Kimmy, who has battled breast cancer, spoke about how her mother had it as well. And I thought that was, I'm not sure if breast cancer is genetic or not, but it's just sad. It's like, you know, you fought for your life with this. Now your mother had to go through it. I could see Kimmy goes through a lot, and she definitely, for her to go through what she has gone through, she looks well rested. She still has a very chill demeanor, and that's great, because going through all that, I could see that tearing you down if you're not careful about it. Before you know it, you're like in a depression. You know what I'm saying? So my question is to you: do you think Latricia and her dude, or Sonny and Moses, are going to be the ones to take Lou and Tiffany's spot? Because Lou and Tiffany, they started off as friends of the show. I think Tiffany was real cool with Destiny, if I'm not mistaken, first, right? Or Melody, one of them. And then the season after that, they were in the introduction. So I'm wondering if Latricia, because we actually went into her home. We didn't go into Sonny and Moses' home, but we went to Latricia and her dude's home and got the background on them. So I'm wondering if they're going to be that couple to replace Lou and Tiffany. When you compare the two couples, if you're talking about like drama storyline, it'd be best to go with Sonny and Moses, because other than Martell going to jail, that's the only thing that we've really talked about. These last 3 episodes, we got into Kiki a little bit, but I don't even know if she's going to be on the show anymore. She wasn't on this episode, and I don't think I saw her in any of the, like, next on Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't think I saw her in any of that, so I'm wondering if she's off the show. She got dismissed, because at this point, who is she still cool with on the show, really? It's not Melody. Didn't really accept her apology, I don't think. Letitia, whose family don't want nothing to do with her after that drink splash. So I don't know if that's the end of Kiki or what. But anyway, this episode was a little slow. Like I said, we're kind of regurgitating stuff. I don't want to hear about Martell going to jail next Saturday. All right, let's get to know these new couples, or get in Nell and Chris's business or something. But anyway, y'all, shout out to my 61 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you that are watching this. Go ahead and hit subscribe, man. You know, go ahead and get me in the triple digits at least. You know what I'm saying? As always, peace and blessings, man. And look forward to my next video this weekend, all right? Until next time, y'all, have a good one.